Hello, our friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family.
Hello there, welcome back.
Welcome back, guys. This was our Patreon exclusive yesterday. We do try to maintain 2 videos a day. That's really what we kind of shoot for. Sometimes it's a hour-long live, but we try to be consistent and try to cover all the bases because we are covering a lot of different things.
We do. We're spread a little bit thin, but darn it, life is so interesting. You don't want to miss out.
No, and then we're always working on people, and there are more testimonials up over at evolutionaryenergyarts.com. That's really what pays the bills. This is our main focus, is one-on-one sessions, and we've helped thousands of people throughout the years. And we invite you guys to reach out. All the information is on every single video as far as the services and all that we do. So if you can look at this again is the Schumann resonance. And when you see it whited out like that, something's going on. I mean, people are feeling it. You're feeling, if you're sensitive, energy sensitive, I think you're going to feel this. You might be wired or absolutely wiped out. It seems like probably more people get wiped out when the Schumann's like this than wired. It's a heightened... Right. It's a heightened sense of everything that's going on. We are literally changing our bodies, and the ether itself is changing. That which all the material world is made from is literally changing in its own vibratory signature.
Right. So, I wanted to go in a little bit deeper when it comes to raising our frequency, raising our vibration. Things that are, ascension symptoms can be very difficult sometimes. Sometimes you might feel buzzing or vibrating in the body. That's fairly common, like a humming inside. Third eye crown pressure, tingling, pulsing, or a heavy feeling at the top of the head. Sometimes people get headaches. Sudden kundalini surges, heat, electricity, or energy running up the spine, or that could go in your limbs. That's not limited to the spine with that type of energy. Ears ringing, high-pitched tones, pulsing sensations, sudden ear pops. Let's go into the mental and emotional. Overstimulation or anxiety. That tends to be where I go. I go to that place, and then I don't sleep all night long because I'm busy trying to figure out the world's problems. Intense emotional clearing, increased telepathy or intuitive downloads. That's a big one too. Time distortion is big. Sometimes I really feel like when we're going through ascension symptoms, we're also going through timeline shifts. Insomnia is a big one. Headaches, pressure. Now watch the heart. The heart's a concerning one. I'm going through some stuff that's pretty heavy with the heart right now, so I'm watching that very closely, and I'll go in if I need to. If something tells me get your butt in to see a DR, then that's what I'll do. So that one worries me because it's very real. These ascension symptoms can lead to other things. Fatigue or extreme energy swings. So this is what can happen during an ascension while the earth is going through its Schumann, when it turns white. All of these things can happen. And it seems to happen more when people are extremely sensitive, empaths, healers, starseeds. It can get really rough. So definitely hang on to yourself. Know that you're going to be okay. Baby yourself. Lots of sleep. All the things.
Yeah, it's not an easy time, and nobody said this time is easy. I'm not aware of anybody that said, "Oh, it's going to be a piece of cake, guys. We got this." No, it's challenging, it's tiring, it's exhausting, and there's like stages. There really are stages that we can see because we talk to many people every week, all over the world. People, again, going through ascension issues. And I first became aware of ascension symptoms and issues back in the 80s. It was all the way back in the 80s. And I have not been like Cindy, where she could have these direct communications and literally long conversations with the guides, answer, question, response, that type of thing. I've gotten more glimpses, knowings, sometimes visions, often visions. But one time when they did speak damn clearly, audible voice in my ear, they were telling me, you're fine. You're just going through Ascension symptoms. And this was all the way back in around the time of my daughter's birth, like around 87, 88. Yeah, I remember it. And I remember thinking, is there something physically wrong? But I didn't understand the correspondence between the physical body and our emotions and, the energy, the emotional part of things. And Cindy is apt to call emotions energy and motion. This is really what we have to understand. This is why I would always choose a naturopathic doctor first and foremost, because they look at us in a holistic manner. And thankfully, there are a lot of MDs, which we know ourselves personally, MDs that are really looking at things in a holistic sense, mind, body, spirit, not just the physical body, because again, disease becomes disease in the physical body, but it naturally, usually manifests if it's not toxins, that you're not exposed to, poisons, toxins, massive doses of radiation, things like that, chemicals. Otherwise, we're really talking about emotions, mostly. Emotions, and this is what traditional Chinese medicine talks about. It's the foundation point of it, as well as acupuncture and Qigong, medical Qigong. It's emotions that we cannot process. Now, we are at a turning of an age. Everything is getting made anew. It really is getting made anew. So it's time to process and to purge. And purging is so, so important. In fact, it'll be the next video in the how to do energy work yourself and become a Heearts energy healer. It's going to be all about purgation, and in fact, there's so much to talk about in that sense. It's what we have to let go in order to move forward. We have to let go of the lead weights that are holding us down. And absolutely, so much of what you're going through is manifesting as physical, but it really is emotional and spiritual. You're processing. You're processing for yourself and your entire DNA heritage and your ancestors and your lineage. And I do think that we're actually processing for those who are coming after us in so many ways, because we're being asked to clear the way, clear all the emotional baggage, all the pain and trauma that may manifest in a physical manner, could manifest very much as a goiter, as thyroid problems like Hashimoto's, for instance. I still go back to this one woman that was around 70 that came to me about 10 years ago or so. And, she was in a lifelong relationship with her first boyfriend, who became her husband. They were married like 50 years. And she's never been able to tell him what she thinks. And she had all sorts of thyroid problems, was like 300 pounds, and it was ruining her body. And it really all stemmed from the fact that she could never tell him what she really felt and thought. And so those repressed emotions will bring about disease in time. It is so important, even if we just do mirror work, which again, you could go in the bathroom, shut the door, and just talk to the mirror and imagine it's not you you're talking to. Imagine if that's the case and it's that lady, imagine it's your husband. Tell him where to go. Tell him just how you really feel. Even if you can't do it in person, because maybe you're scared, and there's reasons that you could be scared. You got to do it some way. You have to get rid of these energies one way or another. A walk through the woods, Complain to the deer and the birds. If that's what you need to do, get out there and let it go. That's the key. It's letting it go. Everything that doesn't serve us, because we are going to a new place.
Mm-hmm. Very important. There's a very good book out there. It's called Feelings Buried Alive Never Die. And it has some really interesting scientific work in there. It's one of the books that I read when I was learning all about energy work and learning how energy in motion really, really affects us and how it needs to be moved and moved up and out and through the body. So I also wanted to bring up some things when I'm scared to say that word.
Well, the harps that angels don't play.
Yes, I want to talk about those.
The demonic harps.
Because it's similar but a little bit different. And when we had that really big earthquake, a lot of people were affected. A lot of people were thrown off, and the guides were telling me, okay, we need to tell people that it's not all them. So sometimes we have to discern for ourselves, because some of this energy is similar, it can act similar. But what I noticed with the thing that the angels play, sudden anxiety or panic attacks, and usually they're pretty bad. The day that happened with me, I could not get myself centered. I was not well. Things were not well. I had all kind of things come up. It was very difficult. So the one person that I do work on, I had to reschedule them because I couldn't. I was not in the right place, and I don't want to give nothing but 150% of myself. Brain fog or disorientation. So that's something that could happen with some of these technologies that are out there. Overstimulated thoughts, you see, that's very similar to the other high frequency. We can have overstimulated thoughts, racing, looping, or intrusive thoughts that feel not like you. I mean, I was having that. It did not feel good. I really didn't like it. Emotional agitation, difficulty sleeping, buzzing or high-pitched ringing in the ears, again, constant pulsing. It might feel irritating. It might feel bothersome. Feeling microwaved, like all the energy's coming in all around you. There is just nothing pleasant about this.
And I'm sorry to interrupt you, but just what you were talking about, this is part of where the system understands where we're going, because we've been through 3 full cycles like this before, since Earth was recreated from Tiamat. And I know all this is going to be coming out in time. People will understand it in retrospect. But the system, again, is causing things technologically that are very similar to what we go through naturally. So it gets confusing.
It does get confusing, and that's why I wanted to bring them both up, because that's where you need to get yourself, ground yourself, center yourself, and figure out, what's going on for you. Sudden nausea or vertigo can happen. Strange. The one thing you really want to look for is when it's technology is strange cloud patterns or water patterns if you're near the water. A metallic taste in your mouth can happen. Animals acting strange. Your pets hiding. Your animals fighting or just, not really doing too well. Disorient bees. It can disorient bees. Electricity disruptions, flickering lights, Wi-Fi acting kind of weird, devices heating up or glitching. So all of these are kind of a sense of some type of artificial interference. Plus, you will kind of get an idea of that. It can definitely block your third eye or dream activity. That's a big one. And just a collective agitation or heaviness, something you can't shake. And that's what happened after that really big earthquake. Person after person after person, really, they're having a hard time. Something was not right. So I just want to get this information out there for people, like an alert, so that they can figure it out for themselves. In any situation, if any of this stuff is going on, you really want to aim and focus to get grounded and centered. This is where, if you are just scattered into a million pieces, you pull on all the strings that you've learned for your spiritual system that you have put in place, and that can really help you.
I get taken back to Woodstock. Was it Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young that song? We are stardust. The most common form of matter is plasma, ultimately, and that is, again, it's like stardust, and everything that we are, the planets are created from this. Of course, the most of that has condensed in our solar system as our sun. But again, we are a microcosm. The sun is the macrocosm, and it's reflective. But ultimately, we are consciousness. Now, we could say that consciousness descends through these different frequencies, and each like different frequency, for lack of a better term, has its own unique characteristics. But we pull to ourselves energy, and we start to develop the energy bodies. And at the higher densities, they're very, very subtle. And as we go down the densities, they get more and more dense to, here you go. We're real dense, guys. In fact, this is something that we've gotten to from the guides. The density of Earth during the Kali Yuga, our portion, is extreme. Mm-hmm. It is real extreme in the universe. So that makes it very challenging and tough. So, you deserve a t-shirt or a mug saying, I survived the Kali Yuga, Earth's Kali Yuga, because it's not easy, and it is extreme compared to many other states of existence out there in the different densities.
And you can't just quit, you can't just walk away and say, okay, I went off this ride. It's something that it was not made to be easy. It was not meant to be easy. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't get angry, or you shouldn't grieve, or you shouldn't, ask why does the universe do this to me? You want to ask all the things, and you want to process all of your emotions, but just know that you're doing something extraordinary, and you're doing something so extremely extraordinary, it's not going to be easy.
No, and again, I would offer, if you have not tried Vedic mantras, they're amazing. They are utterly amazing for shifting your frequency upwards. Cindy was just talking about one of our clients that was, did he get a Hanuman's shirt?
He had
or no, it was Ganesh shirt.
Right.
Yeah, because introducing in the mantras to Ganesh. Who is Ganesh? Ganesh is a person. Literally, it's a being. It's just a being that's residing on a higher density, a higher plane of existence that can see everything that's going on in this density. That literally wants to help us. We just have to go ahead and ask. And, when Cindy channeled Ganesh, it really touched my heart tremendously. I was just overwhelmed with emotion because I could feel, the love coming from this being, very much like the love coming from Yeshua. And, when you look to this, it's really sad on earth that we've been divided by dogmas and even made to think that these benevolent beings would in some way not work with each other. Of course they work with each other. They're all about helping people. So they're not going to work, not work together. They would work together, and they do. There's none of that dogma on the higher densities. There's no animosity on the higher densities. These beings just want the best for you. They really do. And they want to help you because you have survived the Kali Yuga on Earth. And here we are. We're stepping into the Bronze Age. And it's a whole new opportunity. And really, the sky is the limit. As dark as it looks, that's just a leftover energy from the dark matrix.
Mm-hmm. And those people, it seems like, when they've taken on the spiritual practice and the Vedic mantras, I don't know, they do so good. I know there's something there that's something that most people don't touch on out of fear, but there's so much potential
or
in it.
Societal conditioning and religious conditioning. But it does seem like the ones that do, they usually progress faster and easier and don't have as many periods of going backwards.
Right. And they once they get started and you get past that intimidation, because it can be intimidating, the words, give yourself some space and some time, and you will be so surprised at how far you can soar.
Absolutely, guys. So as always, want to give you thanks. We got this. You know, it might look like it's insurmountable, but it's not. It's going to be a breeze. Well, for some. It's all in how we approach it. It's all about the approach and making the best out of whatever situation we find ourselves in. As always, source bless and namaste.
Namaste.